I'm on Wi-Fi, and as you can see, just kind of in the lobby. Okay, looks like I'm live, so that's good. Let's test out the audio. Hold on, I gotta mute myself so I can hear. Test, test. So that works. It might be a little loud. Let me dial it down a notch. Sorry. Doing this when I'm mobile isn't easy. Okay, 92. Let's make it 60. Is that good? Can you guys still hear me good? Alright, maybe a little bit higher. Testing. A little bit higher. Testing. Test. That should be good. Okay. So, the reason I want to do this one is because a friend of mine, his son, he's gosh, I don't know how old, maybe he's 8 years old now. Well, he's getting bullied at school, and uh, he just found out probably today, because I think yesterday, it's yesterday, Monday, yep, his son called and said he was sick and he didn't want to go to school. So he found out today. And so they're trying to figure out the best way, because he's a really good kid, and their school has like a no hands off. They have a hands off policy, so they don't want any kids. If any kid hits another kid, I think that's like a suspension, automatic suspension. Anyway, so they're doing it their way, and that's fine, and that's actually more than fine. That's awesome, because that's how you should handle it. And they also take into account their son, who they want him to make the decision himself in a way. Um, I mean, there's certain things that he doesn't want to do, but of course, he's 8 years old. You kind of have to show him what's going on, how to handle this situation, how you would handle this situation. And of course, at that age, you should be getting parents involved, school teachers involved, principals involved to handle the situation. The only problem is kids. They're going to be kids. They're going to thwart the 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 power, uh, the people in charge. Uh, so I kind of want to explain my position, and a lot of that has to do with. Hey Zox, how's it going? Um, how am I sounding, you guys? Before I go on, does it make sense to? Okay, good. So let's see. When I was in Houston, Texas, parents were poor. My um, of course, my family was from South Korea. They went over to Houston, Texas, and I was born in Houston, Texas. So I'm American born. My parents didn't really speak English. My father, in turn, trained other people in Taekwondo in order to learn English. So they would teach him English. He would teach them martial arts. And we lived in a poor neighborhood, so it was majority Black and Hispanic. There were a few poor white people, and there was us, the only Asians there. And it was a small apartment complex. I can't remember where. But here's the thing. Ever since I was probably around 4 when I started going to school, maybe 5, And up till when I was 9, I pretty much got bullied and beat up almost every day. My father never taught me martial arts. He taught my brother, who's 4.5 years older. And my brother would kind of help out. He would see me get bullied. He would protect me. He would beat the other kids up. The kids who were bullying me weren't my same age. So if I was 4, they were 7. If I was 5, they were 8. So they always had not only numerical advantage, they also had an age and size advantage. So I would come home, bloody noses, bruises, scratches, whatever, dirty clothes because they'd be on the ground, dirt. Um, it's kind of hard to remember. It sucked because not only when I tried to fight back, I didn't know how. But then when I got home, my father would punish me for getting in a fight. He goes, I don't care if you didn't start it, you shouldn't be in that situation. So I would get in trouble and disciplined. Discipline was tough. Uh, so as I got older, I was still getting bullied, I was still getting beaten up on. When I get home, I'd still get punished by my father. And then at that time, my brother would punish me because my father would punish him for not helping me get out of the situation. So not only did I get beat up by the bullies, did I get disciplined and punished by my father, I would also get disciplined and punished by my brother and just get beat up on. So I was just getting pretty much pounded left and right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at that age. Pretty much every day. Now, I would not want my kids to be in that same situation, but it has an advantage to me because I can take a punch, I can take a beating, and I think that's great. I think I'm glad I'm able to handle physical pain to an extent where it doesn't really faze me that much. Uh, Although I do have a certain way about things that people may not like. But that's not because I'm aggressive by nature, it's because I was passive by nature. Um, Now, one of the things that I would say is psychologically, not how it affects me, but how you fight back against bullies, is the way that I did. And the way I did it was, it got to a point where, and not necessarily my father's fault, but he helped me get to this point. Is every day um, I used to be scared because I knew that I was going to get beat up. I was going to get home. My dad was going to discipline me, and my brother was going to, punish me for not being able to handle on my own. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm going to get in a fight anyway, not because it's my fault, because they just know that they can get away with it. And not only do they not get in trouble, I get in trouble twice. So I would just go after them anytime I saw them, either at school, after school, recess. I would just go up to them, kick them, bite them, scratch them, everything. Just the same ones over and over. I'd go home, I'd get punished by my dad, I'd get punished by my brother, but you know what? The bullies never punished me again. They never beat me up. Because every time they saw me, they would see that, hey, he's that crazy kid. It doesn't matter how many times we beat him up, he just keeps coming after us. So I got in trouble at school, or get in trouble by my parents, my father, by my brother. And then eventually, you know what? The bullies stopped bothering me. They stopped bothering other kids because I would say, hey, if you keep going after them, I'm coming after you still no matter what. And they stopped. So I'll just have to say, if someone is bullying you, if they're bullying your kids, you tell your kids to go after them with everything they got. Relentless. Don't stop until they stop. And it doesn't matter if they have repercussions like getting suspended, kicked out of school. You just keep at it because they're the ones who started it, and you're just gonna finish it. And what you do is you pick even if they're big, pick the biggest one out of like 3, 4 bullies. hit them in the nose as much as you can. Kick them in the shins, kick them in the groin. They fall down and keep kicking them in the groin. Just keep at it. Don't let up. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get beat up. Their kids are gonna get hit. They're gonna get hurt. The entire point is to not let up, because you get in that mentality of the bullies. They're just there to pick on people who know that they're not gonna get retaliation from. They can hide. They can make fun of you. They can make fun of your kids. It doesn't matter. They hide behind authority, and the authority protects them. They don't, and you go and say, "Hey, these guys, these kids, mess with my kid. Do something about it." And I can do jack shit. What you do is you tell your kid, or you go up to their father or their parents and say, "Hey, leave them alone, or I'm just gonna come at you or their kid." It's just the way it has to be. And I get really, really emotional at this because it's a problem, and it's not being dealt the right way because we still have bullying existing to this day. More and more people are just kind of passive against it, like I was. They're also letting it happen more. It's kind of almost rather be the bully rather than be bullied, because you can go ahead and get away with it. No one's gonna mess with you until you use the same methods, the same things that I did, my same experience. And the great thing about it was, once the bullies stopped bullying me, because I just kept going at them. I get punched, I get beat up, still, it didn't matter. But the psychology was, they were always on guard. They always saw me, and when they saw me, they knew that I was going to go after them. If I noticed them, they would hide. Other kids would see that and see that they're just cowards, and so they would start being ridiculed by the other kids. And I tell them, "Hey, no, stop. That's the whole point. What bullying is ridiculing them. You don't want to do the same thing that the bullies did." So you kind of get some respect by your peers. I don't know any other way to handle bullies. No, that was my way, and it worked. Whether it'll happen or it'll always result in the same way, I don't know. It's psychological. Yeah, these days you might end up in jail. See, that's the point. You just got to show them that you don't care about the consequences, what happens to you. All you care about is what happens to them, and they're gonna stop, because I'll go to jail, I'll go to prison, but you know what? They ain't gonna mess with me again. And if they do, they're just gonna get crippled or they're gonna die. And I don't care what happens to me. It's just that simple. That's just my mentality since I was a kid. It's mentality now, and no one messes with me. And that's it. If they do, I might let it go once. I'm pretty lenient. But when they keep at it, I just keep going at them, and they'll eventually stop. And that's just the way that you have to be against bad people, because otherwise they're just going to keep going. So you have to stop it. You have to stop it early, and you have to stop it fast. And when it gets in their heads, it's over. They stop. It's as simple as that. You let it go once. That's what bullies like. They like it when you stop. They like it when you try to hide from them. They like it when you tell on their parents, you tell on your parents, you tell on school teachers. They see it as a sign of power, that you're scared. The problem is, eventually that fear is gonna just eat at you. That's why we got kids who are killing themselves, doing suicide. You just have to go and tell them, screw the consequences. This is more important than what happens to you. It's what happens to them. Because if you let it happen to you, you'll let it happen to someone else, and it just keeps going and going, and it doesn't stop the bullying. It doesn't stop at you. It keeps going to the next person. It's like if you saw someone, like, here's the big thing today, right? Is sexual harassment, rape. If you saw someone get raped, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna say, it's their problem. No, you step in, you stop it. So you gotta just do the same with bullying. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna switch on to the next topic, and it's gonna be a little bit more relaxed. Promise. I hope. So everyone who's here, just know my stream's gonna end, and I'll continue on with the next.